Bobby, can you just talk about your objective on guarding Tyler tonight? What you were trying to do out there, and how you were able to kind of keep him at bay?
I mean, what we worked on this week was just honestly trying not to let him shoot the ball in general, which sounds like a difficult task. I mean, it sounded crazy, but I think I honestly just tried to deny the ball, which is a little bit out of our defensive scheme, but I think it worked for the most part. And, we just wanted him to shoot as little as possible and let the other guys beat us if that was going to happen, and not Tyler, because last year I think he went for 37 on us, and we know how that felt, losing here and him literally almost making every shot. So we had to do something, and I feel like we did that tonight.
And Jamar, they're trying to front you down low early in the game. How did you kind of fight through that and be able to sort of get into your game the way you want to play?
Well, if they front me, they have to have a backside defender. So with that, my teammates open on that weak side, and I think we did a good job of skipping it over there and taking advantage of that. And then whenever I was able to get a touch before they got to the front, we took advantage of that as well. But I think the front really helped our team, get weak side threes and drives to the basket.
Bobby, they stretched the lead to 6-8 in the first half, but then Timmy hits that three to tie it. How much momentum that give you guys going on?
I mean, that's huge. It just makes it a 0-0 game. It's like the start of a game. You never want to be down at halftime. It's always difficult to come back. So that three just leveled things out and let us take a breath at halftime and realize what we needed to do.
Once you guys hit that reset button, what changed in the second half that allowed you to succeed?
Just our mentality. I think they were outplaying us in terms of playing harder than us in the first half. So I think we just had to, hit the reset button and just realize that no team can play harder than us. And if we play harder, no one's going to beat us in the league.
Bobby, you talked about the job you guys did on Tyler Hall, but Harold Frey got going early, but then shut him out in the second half. What adjustments did you guys make there?
I credit that to Ahmad and Mike. I mean, they're hell of defenders, and so we didn't really talk about what we were going to do about it on halftime. I think we just mentally, I think we all know what we needed to do, and so I think Ahmad took it as a challenge, and I think he did a hell of a job. So.
Is that why you guys were so quick to be back out on the floor at halftime?
Yeah, Travis quick. Usually takes like 10 minutes to even come in and talk to us. So he was in there quick, told us what we needed to do, and it was pretty much up to us to fix things, and so we did.
Jamar, scoring 40 points in the paint. What was the key just to be able to win that battle down low?
So we scored 40 points in the paint?
Yeah, I think that's
well, that's our game plan. Every game we try to dominate the paint, and we try to get it post touches, drives to the rim. We try to establish the paint. And that's our motto.
Inside out.
Bobby, Mike gets so much credit for his defense. You get a lot of credit for his defense. A lot of people talk about Ahmad's defense. What do you think he does well defensively?
I mean, he keeps his man in front of him, and he's quick, and he knows what we need to do in our defensive schemes to be successful. And I think he leads us in that. So, he's athletic, he's quick. So him keeping his man in front, and then just knowing our defensive schemes, I think he's a really smart basketball player and just buys into everything that we do. So I think that helps him.
After the way that this one ended here last year, does this mean something to you?
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, I think we were the first time losing to them in like 13 games or something. So you don't want to be that team, because that's a couple of years before us. Nobody lost to the Cats, so we wanted to get back revenge, and we did. And so we just got to do it again at home.
Jamar, your first time experiencing the rivalry as a player, so what did you think just overall?
It was great. I mean, we live for these, for sellouts and the competitive games. So it was a lot of fun, going out to compete with my guys. And, we enjoy, you want to play in front of all these people. You want everybody to be against you. It brings us together a lot more. And it was a lot of fun. Can't wait for them to come to our place.
Starting 7-0 in conference hasn't been done a whole lot in Grizz history. I don't think, how many times, I don't know. But just to be able to have that and, be off to such a good start, what can you say about it?
I mean, it feels good. I think it puts a lot of pressure on us. There's a target on our back for sure. But I think at the same time, it's keeping us hungry. We don't want to lose. So we know people are going to come in there and give us their best game. So we got to come in prepared. We got to be focused every game. And I think, hopefully that'll give us some motivation. To come in focused and play hard and try to keep the streak going.
I think on top of that, I don't think we can get complacent. Like my freshman year, we started off 6-0. We got second in conference, so things can turn really quick. And last year, I think we were 5-1 and had a really bad year in the Big Sky. So, we can't settle right now, and there's a lot of games left to play. So I think we just have to stick to what we've been doing, and I think we'll find success.
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks.
Coach, you want to start with an opening statement?
Defense wins. We've talked about that summer, fall, through the process of getting ready for non-conference and then going into conference. I think we kind of found our groove a little bit defensively in December, the mid to late. And I think that's what led to the first 4 wins in conference. And then I thought last week we had a little slippage. We weren't playing very hard. We weren't getting back on defense. We were playing very well offensively, and so we were beating people with our offense. So I was a little concerned about our defense going in. And so we spent 2 solid days really grinding it out. And I don't think we defended great in the first half. I thought that we guarded the actions, but we weren't getting loose balls. We weren't finishing possessions. And we came out really focused in the second half. Ahmad Worry on Frey and Bobby Moorehead with most of the assignment on Hall. Short stretch, Timmy Falls. And for those guys to hold that team as a group to 19 points in the second half and no made field goals for Frey or Hall in a whole half is an incredible performance.
I know you kind of alluded to it a little bit just now, but do you think putting the clamps down in the second half, was that more of a scheme or mentality?
Both. I mean, you have to have a scheme, but the scheme doesn't work without the mentality. I think Bob just, I was joking down there that maybe there is a guy whose Twitter handle actually fits him, and Bobby Moorehead has been playing like a beast for us. He's diving on the floor for loose balls. He doesn't quit. He doesn't give up. He scraps. And I thought he was physical. I thought he was smart. And he was all in the right places. And then he went and got the ball off the rim. So some of it was scheme. But at the end of the day, you got to have a little grit in your heart to defend the way we defended tonight.
You guys said they thought maybe MSU was playing a little harder in the first half. Would you agree with that?
No question about it. And that's what was challenged. I didn't have a lot of X and O adjustments for him at halftime because what we were doing was working. We just weren't finishing possessions, the long rebounds. We were soft on offense. And I said, hey, if you want to win, toughen up. At the end of the day, we got to go out there and play tougher if we're going to win. And that, I can't draw that up on the board. And I thought they responded very well.
After the way that they finished the game last year here, did this one mean a little something extra to you guys? Yeah,
I mean, if they win this game, they celebrate. The crowd goes nuts. You've got 7,000 people in here, and they won a victory, and they put a lot into it. And it's just an incredible environment, best environment we've had all year. And we can't let that happen. We just got to play and perform and do what we need to do to win games. So some of it was payback. Some of it was, hey, we're playing well right now, but we got to get better. We can't be complacent. And then some of it is the crosstown rival, and we want it for our fans and our community. At the end of the day, it's a basketball game. We love it. And if you don't love competing, you're in the wrong sport. And I think both teams went out and competed very hard tonight.
Timmy's 3 to close the first half, what did that do for you?
Huge. That one and the one in front of our bench in the second half. I thought the timing, we were struggling to get buckets. We were walking up and down the floor. We had no pace. And so that end of the half, to go in tied as opposed to down, is a game changer. Because what you're talking about now is, okay, now let's just go win the half. We've got momentum because we scored last. Whether we did or we didn't, it felt like it. And then you had another timely one in the second half where we needed somebody to make a jump shot, and we were struggling. And so I thought the timing of that one was huge.
Bobby talked about slowing down Tyler Hall, and the big key was denying him the ball and not allowing him to get shots. How would you assess how well those guys did that job?
Great. We got pretty good feel for their offense, their motion, and their flow. And then they've got, some actions and some counters. So we had pretty good feel for when they were going to run special plays for either him or Frey, or when they would get into him. And, you show the guys that in film, and sometimes guys pick it up, some guys don't, because they run a lot of plays. And I thought Bob picked up on just about every one of them. I thought he got picked off on 2, but then the post ran out and helped, and we trapped him. And that's when your team is tuned in, team effort, because it wasn't just one guy that picked up on the play, it was multiple guys. So it was a phenomenal team effort, but I give Bob an A today on his effort and his cerebral approach defensively.
After this one, you guys have 7 of your last 11 at home. So just the spot you're in right now, what do you think of this, the 7-0 start?
We're excited. You know, it's not an easy 7 to get. Winning here is very difficult. You know, the Portland State Sac State trip, it's looking right now like it's the most difficult trip. And you know, we got North Dakota and Northern Colorado still coming up, but at least we've got a few in the bank. And you know, that's another very difficult trip. And if you got a few in the bank and you get a couple splits on the next 2 road trips, you're probably sitting in a pretty good spot if you can hold down the fort. So banking wins is huge. You know, I remember Coach Taylor, when we played, he'd do the plus minus and give us 2 points on the road for a victory and 1 point at home for a victory. And right now we'd be sitting pretty good on plus minus.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zach, you think Montana's defense wore you guys down in the second half?
Yeah, they played a really good job on defense in the second half. I think we were 4 for 26 or something. And we just got to figure out how to get back on our groove offensively and not cave into defenses like that.
What was it about their pressure that was tough to go against to hold you guys to only 4 baskets?
I mean, they played good. They could play good defense, but also it's on us not to panic in those kind of situations where a team's playing really good aggressive defense on us. It was a little bit on ourselves, but they also did play good defense, so credit them.
Talk about some of maybe the illness that kind of crept through the team this week and how that might have affected things tonight.
I mean, yeah, we had some sickness going through the team. A couple of players got sick, but I mean, it's not an excuse that we're looking for. We don't want any excuses. We're going to hold this L, and we don't got any excuses for it.
Joe, what do you think was the biggest difference between the first half where you guys had all the momentum and the second half where they kind of took it away?
We just didn't make shots, that's it really. And they played better defense, obviously, which caused us not to take good shots. And when we did take good shots, we missed them. So that's basically it.
How good of a job did they do denying you any good looks in the second half? It seems like everything you guys really had to work for hard late in the shot clock as well.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job on defense. That's one of the things that Montana does well on defense is that they like to, you know, get in, make sure you can't get easy passes to the wings or anything, and it disrupted us a little bit. So, yeah, we just got to fight through all that.
And on the other side, you know, trying to be physical with Jamar and try to front him and stuff like that. Seemed like it was working fairly well in the first half, but they were able to kind of establish a presence in there in the second half.
Yeah, first half we did a good job trying to crack down on him and trying to really pressure him when he gets the ball in the post. And the second half we kind of went away from it a little bit, and that really hurt us. The little times that we went away from it is when he capitalized on it. So,
Joe, how frustrating is it, when you aren't able to keep up with them, scoring-wise?
I mean, we could have, but we just didn't today, I guess. It's not that we can't. We can, but we just didn't today. So that's why it's even more frustrating, because we know we can, but we didn't. As I say, we just didn't make shots that we usually make. So if we did, it would have been a different ball game.
More for these guys?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just trying to limit their production in the paint was a focus going in, but they were able to really establish a presence down there. Just talk about the way they were able to do that.
Well, 40 to 16 in the paint, but they did good down there, and we knew we had to take some things away down there, and they were really good, and we didn't take some things away. But I thought our post defense, I thought our guys fought their tails off. I thought we got to get a little more pressure on the wings and stuff for those passes, but they dominated the paint.
What do you think they did differently in the second half to limit you guys defensively?
I think they're a really good team. I think they played really, really well and got after it. But at the same time, a little of that was self-destruction there. But credit them, they did good.
What did you see they did that kept the ball on the counter's hands?
Maybe they got up on him a little bit, but at the same time, 4 of 24 in the second half. It's at some point it's going to demoralize you.
Did the way he was feeling, did that have any effect on?
I didn't think so. I thought he played hard. I thought the guys played hard. I thought guys' effort was good and everything like that. It just some nights the shots don't go. And you know, I mean, 67 points. They shot 44%. I mean, we're right there. I mean, it was a great game in the first half, and we got some good looks there in the second half, and they didn't go. And so their defense was really, really good and separated the game.
What would you say is just the reason for missing all those shots?
Didn't go in the hole.
As far as Harold is concerned, Harold and Tyler, I guess when they only get 3 points together in the second half, how difficult is it for you guys?
Yeah, that's I mean that's just going to be a fact. They held us to 3 points there, but I liked some of the looks we got. The other guys got good looks, and we struggled through the team. We struggled 4 for 24, and that's just going to wear you down.
Last year, Ogina and Rory both got to the rim a lot. This year, it seemed like you guys limited that. What did you think of just on-ball defense?
Well, I thought at times our defense was. I thought at times our defense was really good. I mean, 67 points. I mean, that was fine. You got to give something away to take something away, and a couple times they exposed it. But for the most part, we guarded our tails off. But like I said, guys, when a shot won't go in, at some point it's going to demoralize you mentally, wear you down, and it wouldn't go.
Do you think that had some effect on some of your guys at the free throw line in the second half?
Good question. I don't think so much at the line. I mean, we've been a really good free throw shooting team. We just stepped up the line and didn't make it. I mean, you're not guarded there, and that's a place we've been really, really good at. And we had some chances to kind of, take the lead or keep the game close, and we did make some free throws there that did hurt us.
7 of your last 11 now, going forward at home. I guess 6 out of 11 because you got to go there. But what do you think is the stretch you have in front of you now?
Well, we got to get better. I mean, it's going to be one of those situations, a rivalry game. So when you're on the wrong end of the rivalry, they're going to sit there and people are going to try to pick us apart and do some things. We got to come together and fight it a little bit and get back. Like I said, I thought our defensive effort was much, much better tonight. I thought we fought it, but. Again, I'm making an excuse here, but I'm not. If the ball don't go in at some point, it's just going to take you out of anything you do.
All right.
Thanks, guys.